Welcome to another video on Popcorn TV with me, your host with the most. Today we are talking about the top 10 best Bond girls of all time. If you are a James Bond junkie like me, you will know that this is long overdue. I mean, we have been planning this video for a very long time. Now all Bond critics and fans will have noticed through the years, that as the James Bond movies changes in style and plots, so did the Bond girls. The earliest Bond girls portrayed the more helpless type of girls, that constantly needed to be saved and would easily fall head over heels for Bond's legendary charms. And this is the part where he says, the name is
Bond. James Bond.
As time went by, the James Bond franchise went through considerable changes and eventually went through changes in management which steered the movies towards a whole new direction. No pun intended. The Bond movies have been influenced by changes in audiences as generations phase out, and a world more drawn to action than suspense, which has led to the casting of the likes of Daniel Craig, in a time where Jason Bourne was taking over the screen as the ultimate action hero. But even more compelling is the amount of criticism the Bond character has been subjected to over the years. Mostly for promoting chauvinism and male superiority as seen in some of Sean Connery movies who, in some scenes, actually hit women. That might have been acceptable in the 60s and 70s but would definitely not fly in today's movies. With modern Bond girls, the characters have evolved into more capable counterpart, that actually take part in the action, and in some case, even help Bond complete his mission, as opposed to just waiting to be saved. As seen with the character of Colonel Lin played by Michelle Yeoh in the 1997 Tomorrow Never Dies, or Agent Jinx in Die Another Day played by the ravishing Halle Berry. This era ushered a new brand of Bond girls, that contributed to the chaos, by fighting side by side with Bond. And therefore, we have come to love the Bond girls for more than just their seductive allure but also the female aggressiveness they bring to the screen.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were following me around, Mr. Bond.
I have tried not to be subjective in making this list, by not only taking into consideration my personal opinion, instead I also researched other polls and rankings done in past posts, which I then aggregated to the best of my ability. At the end of the day, this is no contest, it's all a matter of taste. So feel free to share your own list with us in the comments below. Without any further delays, let's jump into it. At number 10, Madeleine Swann, played by Lee Seydoux. She was born in Paris and spent most of her early acting career in France. The 37-year-old actress first appears in the 2015 Spectre alongside Daniel Craig, who plays 007. Her fresh acting is probably the reason why she returns 6 years later with Bond in No Time to Die. Madeleine Swann becomes of interest as she is the daughter of a Spectre member known as Mr. White, previously seen in Casino Royale. Swann and Bond become entangled in a fight for survival after Bond convinces her that her late father, Mr. White, sent him to protect her and he needs her help to find someone called the American. Swann reappears in the 2021 much-awaited No Time to Die, as Bond continues his chase for the last members of the secret organization Spectre. This time a ghost from Madeleine's past resurfaces seeking her back. At the end of the movie, we get to find out that her 5-year daughter is actually Bond's child, making her the first character to have a child with 007. At number 9, Major Amasova aka Triple X, played by Barbara Bach in the 1977 The Spy Who Loved Me. Born in 1947 in New York, Barbara Bach had the privilege to be a cast in one of the most iconic Bond movie of all time, The Spy Who Loved Me. The movie was such a success that it is hard to forget the characters, even if most of them didn't have quite a great acting career afterwards. Major Amasova is an elite KGB spy who is forced to collaborate with Bond when the Russian Secret Service decides to join forces with MI6 in the hunt for the megalomaniac named Karl Stromberg, who plans to destroy the world and create a new civilization under the sea. Barbara Bach stars alongside Roger Moore, who plays Bond, who she discovers was the killer of her late boyfriend. As such, she promises him a payback once the mission is over. Both Bond and Triple X are constantly engaged in a power struggle throughout the movie in order to prove to their superiors who is the best agent. And, in time, the chemistry between the two can no longer be ignored. Barbara puts on a perfect Russian accent that will have you believe she is genuinely a Russian native.
For the gentleman, vodka martini, shaken, not stirred.
The film was nominated for 3 Academy Awards amid many other nominations. Barbara retired from acting shortly after the movie was released. Roger Moore went on to make a few more Bond movies.
This is Triple X. Message received and understood.
At number 8, May Day, played by Grace Jones. The American actress was born Grace Beverly Jones in Jamaica and grew up in New York. She is a model, singer and actress. The character she plays in the 1985 James Bond movie, titled A View to a Kill, known as May Day alongside Roger Moore, is probably the most iconic Bond villain of all time. May Day is the real definition of badass woman, as she is seen throughout the movie involved in physical confrontations from lifting up a man in the air to holding down a horse. It's no doubt that Bond has met his match. She starts off as the personal bodyguard/lover and assassin employed by billionaire industrialist, Max Zorin, the villain. After being betrayed by Zorin, May Day teams up with Bond, and helps him escape yet another near-death experience. Although the character dies halfway through the movie, her contribution in making A View to a Kill a real thrill is undeniable. Fun fact: Grace was due to appear in Bond 25 Feet to celebrate the milestone movie in the spy franchise. However, Grace decided not to go ahead with her appearance after being disappointed at the size of her role following her arrival on set. At number 7, Xenia, played by Famke Janssen in the 1995 Golden Eye. Famke is a Dutch actress born in 1964.
James Bond.
Xenia Sergeyevna on the top.
On the top?
On the top.
She appears in many other popular movies like Taken and X-Men, where she plays the character of Jean. In 2008, she was appointed a Goodwill Ambassador for Integrity by the United Nations. Xenia makes her first appearance in a scene where she engages in a random car chase with Bond, played by Pierce Brosnan. It was the ultimate showdown as Xenia drove a Ferrari F355 up against Bond's Aston Martin DB5. It is immediately clear that Xenia lives life in the fast lane and enjoys a good squeeze more than your average girl. Bond uses Onatop as his connection to the man he's chasing, the head of the Janus crime syndicate, the person who is responsible for the destruction of a Russian secret weapons facility. At number 6, Colonel Lin, played by Michelle Yeoh in Tomorrow Never Dies. The character of YLan is the first Chinese Bond girl, and has received critical acclaim for being one of the best Bond girls ever. The Chinese secret agent and martial arts expert uses her cover as a reporter for the New China News Agency. YLan infiltrates the cable network of billionaire media mogul Elliot Carver, where she meets Bond, played by Pierce Brosnan. They join forces to stop Carver from initiating World War III. The movie is nothing short of actions and explosive scenes. Directed by Roger Spottiswoode, Tomorrow Never Dies brings some cool scenes such as a unique high-speed chase, where Bond and Lin are handcuffed to each other, and forced to ride on one bike. Both actors' connection is incredible, making it probably the best duo collaboration of the Bond franchise.
Don't get any ideas.
Very good.
At number 5, Vesper, played by Eva Green. Eva Green is a French actress and model. Born in 1980 in Paris, the 42-year-old actress began her career in theater before making her film debut in Bernardo Bertolucci's The Dreamers. She plays Vesper in the 2006 Casino Royale, alongside Daniel Craig as Bond. Vesper and Bond meet for the first time on the train traveling in Montenegro. She is foreign liaison agent from the HM Treasury's Financial Action Task Force assigned to make sure that Bond adequately manages the funds provided by MI6 for the high-stakes poker game at the Casino Royale. However, she is secretly a double agent working for Quantum, the terrorist organization MI6 is trying to stop. She is an unwilling traitor, however. She is only helping Quantum because they have taken her lover hostage and threatened to kill him if she does not cooperate. Eventually Bond and Vesper become emotionally attached such that Bond decides to resign from his 00 position and start a new life with Vesper. At number 4, the legendary Pussy Galore, played by Honor Blackman in the 1964, Goldfinger. Honor was an English actress born in 1925, England. Also known for her role as Laura West in the ITV sitcom The Upper Hand. We easily remember introducing herself when she first meets Bond.
My name is Pussy Galore.
I must be dreaming.
Pussy Galore is the personal pilot of gold smuggler, Auric Goldfinger, and the leader of a female aviator team called the Pussy Galore's Flying Circus, who is employed by the billionaire. However, Pussy and the other members of this faction are involved in Goldfinger's Operation Grand Slam, consists to infiltrate Fort Knox, being in charge to dispensing the Delta-9 nerve gas across the area of the bank in order to kill 60,000 people. So that Goldfinger and his task force can smuggle an atomic bomb into the vault. Such an action would make the gold radioactive and useless for 58 years, and that the value of Goldfinger's gold will increase many times, thus making Goldfinger the richest man in the world.
You can turn off the charm. I'm immune.
At number 3, Dominique Derval aka Domino. Played by Claudine Auger. She was a French actress born in 1941 and she earned the title of Miss France and was also the first runner-up in the 1958 Miss World contest. She plays alongside Sean Connery in Thunderball. Thunderball is the fourth film in the James Bond film series, and the fourth to star Sean Connery as James Bond. Released in 1965, the film was a critical and commercial success. Due to the Spectre crisis, MI6 calls an emergency conference where a number of 00 agents are briefed and given assignments. Although no faces are clearly seen, this is the first time 00 agents other than Bond have been seen on screen. Initially M assigns Bond to Canada, but Bond recognizes a photo of the NATO observer as the dead man he saw at the health club. Since the NATO observer's sister is in Nassau, M allows Bond to journey there to investigate. The sister, Domino, is Largo's mistress. Bond exploits this connection to get close to Largo after meeting Domino while scuba diving. Before we get to number 2, let me take this opportunity to thank you for watching this far. And take time to click on the like button to help the channel, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. At number 2, Jacinta Johnson aka Jinx. Played by Halle Berry in the 2002 Die Another Day. Halle Berry makes quite an entrance in this epic 2002 movie with Pierce Brosnan. She plays the character of an NSA operative. Jinx is assigned to kill a rogue North Korean agent named Zhao, who is undergoing gene replacement therapy at the Alvarez Clinic on Los Organos Island, Cuba. There she meets James Bond, who is also after Zhao in the hope of extracting the identity of a double agent responsible for his 14-month imprisonment in North Korea. She introduces herself as Jinx, a nickname derived from her being born on Friday the 13th.
Let's just say our relationships don't seem to last.
Jinx teams up with James Bond to spy on rogue North Korean agent Zhao and investigate his ties with diamond magnate Gustav Graves. It's worth noting, the scene where Jinx emerges from the ocean in a bikini pay homage to the character of Honey Rider, Ursula Andress, from the first Bond film, Dr. No. Lindy Hemming, costume designer on Die Another Day, had insisted that Berry wear a bikini and knife as an homage. When asked about the legendary scene, Halle Berry said, "It's splashy, exciting, sexy, provocative, and it will keep me still out there after winning an Oscar." Talking about Ursula Andress, well, you guessed it right. At number 1, Honey Rider. Every Bond fan all-time favorite and the very first Bond girl. Ursula Andress is a Swiss actress, former model born in 1936. She has appeared in American, British and Italian films. Her breakthrough role was as Bond girl Honey Rider in the first James Bond film, Dr. No, in 1958. Her entrance scene in the movie is often hailed as the most iconic bikini scene of all time. The actress once said, "This bikini made me into a success." In 2001, at the age of 64, she auctioned the legendary white bikini for a whopping $60,000. However, its value to Andra's career was priceless. Following her role in Dr. No, she earned a Golden Globe and paved a way to many future roles. The original Bond girl has a special place in our classic archives and in our hearts. Bond meets the beautiful Honey Rider, dressed only in a white bikini, who is collecting shells and singing under the mango tree. She emerges from the sea and Bond finds her to be beautiful right away, scaring her by joining in singing. At first, she is suspicious of Bond but soon decides to help him after Dr. No's guards destroy her boat.